This is Court TV Live. I'm Kelly Kraft, sitting in today for Ted Rowlands. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon or this morning. We are in Florida, where testimony continues in the case against Donna Adelson. The 75-year-old grandmother is accused of orchestrating a murder-for-hire plot to kill her former son-in-law back in 2014. FSU law professor Dan Markel had been married to Adelson's daughter, Wendy, and was in the middle of a bitter custody battle when he was fatally shot. Prosecutors say that Adelson enlisted her son, Charlie, and 3 others to help carry out the murder. All 4 have already been found guilty, leaving only Adelson remaining. Let's get you back to the courtroom now. Sergeant Christopher Corbitt has been on direct examination by the state. Let's go in.
All right, so then moving on to later that morning, which is going to be the morning of July 18th when Dan Markel was murdered. What can you tell us about all the co-conspirators' communication that morning between 8 a.m. and 12:30 p.m.?
So again, another call detail summary between those subjects. Here, slide 192, we're referencing the time when the shooting of Mr. Markel occurred. And in combination with the iCloud return with text message content in the forensic examination of Wendy Adelson's phone, the communication records from the carriers, we kind of have a more complete idea of the communications between these persons the morning of the 18th.
Okay, and the yellow line there shows out what time in the call detail records the homicide occurred?
Yes.
Can you walk us through all the cell phone evidence that morning?
So again, just looking at the communications between our primary subjects, Wendy had the calendar event that for 8 a.m. for fixed TV.
And I want to ask you about that. Did she often have calendar events in her phone?
She did, yes.
And she would often delete those events?
Correct.
All right. When was this calendar event deleted?
I do not know.
Okay. Was it when she was with law enforcement the afternoon of July 18th? Did they take her phone and run a Cellbrite report on it?
Yes. So this extraction occurred on the late evening hours of July 18th.
Okay. And in the Cellbrite, it would have shown that the calendar event was deleted. Is that right?
Correct.
So would she have had to have deleted it before her cell phone was Cellbrighted that evening?
Yes.
Okay. So sometime between 8 a.m. when the event is on her phone and that evening it was deleted?
It could have been deleted before that date.
Okay. All right. So first call to Donna Adelson and Wendy Adelson. Can you show that to us? Yes.
So again, we see at 8:09 a.m. there's a call from Wendy to Donna.
Okay. Let me ask you one thing from the night before. Was it unusual for Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson to communicate or attempt to communicate at 1 a.m. that late?
They're communicate over a pretty broad range of time. I think it was pretty clear that that event was a misdial that he immediately corrected and called Miss Bagbanowa. That's why there was no duration to it.
Okay, thank you. All right, so moving on to that morning, we saw the calendar event, and then does Donna place the first call that morning between the co-conspirators to Wendy?
Wendy calls Donna. Let's back up. So, yes, Wendy actually calls Donna at 8:09.
Okay. And what's next?
Donna attempts back at about the same time frame. Little phone tag, maybe. And then we see a text message from Donna to Wendy, again, about the Best Buy service.
And she says, they're on their way over now to help with the TV sets in your living room.
Correct.
All right, what's next?
Wendy has a text to Charlie stating, "This is so sweet."
And that was deleted?
Correct.
And would that have had to have been deleted then before the Cellbrite that afternoon, sometime between when it was received at 8:20 and the Cellbrite that afternoon?
Correct.
All right. What's next?
Wendy receives a voicemail from Dan Markel.
Okay. And do you have that voicemail where you could play it for us?
I believe so.
Hey Wendy, Danny, good morning. 9 o'clock on Friday. Just wanted to take something to pick the boys up early this afternoon and get into swimming. And then have them ready for you around 4:30 or 5. Get them up. So either at Tuesday or at the house. So let me know if that's okay with you. And also I'd love to chat to you about that situation for school. And Thursday stuff and all that. I'm going to be at the gym probably between 9:15 and 10:30. But happy to chat. You know, go off to school, just like that. Okay, bye.
What time was that voicemail left for Wendy Adelson?
9:04 a.m.
Okay, what happens after that?
So Charlie calls Wendy, or attempts to call Wendy at 9:12.
And that's 29 seconds?
Correct.
Okay, what's next?
Wendy texts Dan Markel, stating the repairman at my house now. I am picking up the boys at 3 p.m., so your swim idea is a no-go today.
So do we know exactly what time she listened to that? Was it 9:04?
9:04 was the voicemail.
Do we know exactly what time she listened to that 9:04 voicemail?
We do not.
But it seems she would have listened to it before this text at 9:12.
She does seem to acknowledge the content of the voicemail in this text message reply.
So she heard it sometime between 9:04 and 9:12.
Correct.
Okay. Now, in that message, he mentions he's going to the gym, right? At 9:15. But from the surveillance videos that we have, by the time he got to the gym at 9:15, were the killers already tailing him?
Appeared to be so, yes.
Okay. And are you familiar with Luis Rivera's statement that they had been tailing him all morning? They followed him from his house to the preschool that morning.
Correct.
All right, so can you walk us through these messages starting at 9:12 a.m. that Wendy Adelson has with Dan Markel?
Yes. So, again, she indicated that the swim idea was a no-go. Mr. Markel responds about his day ending at 4:30.
Meaning that he gets to keep the boys under the schedule until 4:30.
Correct.
Okay.
As again, in this message, he says, under our schedule. And he continues, and you had them until 5 last week. This is at 9:13 a.m.
Okay.
Wendy Adelson responds, because you needed to food shop. This is at 9:15. Mr. Markel replies, you weren't making them available until 5.
And at this point, he's already in the Premier parking lot around that time.
Would be correct, yes.
Okay.
Wendy responds, if it was 4:30 last Friday, you should have told me that. Why tell me now? This is at 9:19. And also at 9:19, Wendy receives a call from Charlie, lasts a little over 18 minutes.
Okay. So at the point where Dan Markel's already at the gym at 9:19, right?
Yes.
And the killers have already followed him to the gym at that point, right?
Correct.
This is per surveillance footage from Premier.
Correct.
At this point, Wendy and Charlie have an 18 and 17 second phone conversation.
An 18-minute and 17-second, yes.
Okay. What happens next after this phone conversation?
So after the phone call started, Wendy would have received the incoming text because I was being nice. And then about the time that phone call would have ended, Wendy texts Dan back.
And does she say, nice was fun while it lasted. See you at 4:30 today at my house then?
Correct.
So after this 18-minute phone call with Charlie Adelson, does she seemingly change her stance in the argument? She kind of concedes the argument and agrees with what Dan Markel is asking. He can keep the boys until 4:30.
Correct.
And then within about an hour of this message was Dan Markel killed.
He was shot, yes.
Shot, thank you. Walk us through what happens next.
So there are additional communications. Charlie attempts to call Donna at 9:38. Charlie attempts to call Catherine at 9:57. Return attempt just after. And then Charlie and Catherine talk for almost 7 minutes at 9:58.
Okay.
Charlie calls Wendy 10:06, short duration. Catherine attempts Charlie again, 10:07, 10:08. The return call at 10:09 for about 6 minutes. And that's the last of the communications prior to the shooting.
Okay, is Charlie also that morning playing phone tag with the attorney representing him in the divorce, Stephen Webster?
Dan Markel is.
I'm sorry, Dan Markel, thank you. And did Dan Markel have communication where he's playing phone tag with Stephen Webster?
Yes, this is slide 220, and we see from Mr. Markel's records several incoming, outgoing text or voice attempts with Stephen Webster.